What's going on, guys? It's G Rocket, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the offseason of the NBA so far right now and the whole landscape, how all the trades are going on right now. Right now, I'm recording on June 24th, so I don't know if any other deals have broke, but pretty much right now, the Kristaps Porzingis trade just dropped. And I'm a Knicks fan, so I'm going to be giving you basically an unbiased rundown. None of the Knicks haven't made any trades yet, so essentially, I'm just going to be talking to you guys about all the trades that have happened so far, how I think everything's going to kind of affect, and give you my honest analysis, and I'll give you kind of grades or what if I think was a fair trade or not on each trade. Yeah, so first I'm going to start with the Orlando Magic trade. Yeah, for Desmond Bain, and they gave up Cole Anthony and 4 first-round picks and a pick swap, as well as Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So I feel like that's a huge amount of things to give up, a lot of assets to give up for Desmond Bain. Desmond Bain's a really good player. He's not an all-star though. Never has been an all-star. I'd say he's probably in that same tier of like Austin Reeves and that kind of stuff. He plays better defense. So maybe he's around like Darius Garland, kind of like maybe like a one-time all-star-ish, or like, kind of borderline all-star like Brandon Ingram, that kind of stuff. He's a really good player though, but I'd say if they could just give up Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cole Anthony, maybe 1 or 2 picks, maybe 2 on a swap, but 4 is just way too much. So for the Grizzlies, they got an amazing return. I definitely got to give them an A+. And for the Magic, just getting Desmond Bain, they didn't get anybody else back. None of the young assets that the Grizzlies have. They didn't get another center because their center rotation is kind of bad. They don't really have a lot of offense coming from that. And yeah, you're getting rid of a really good offensive player in Cole Anthony and bringing in a much better one though in Desmond Bain. But you're losing a lot of defense in Caldwell-Pope. So we're gonna see how it goes. They definitely got better in the trade, but they're mortgaging their future for Desmond Bain, who, yeah, he's a young star, but he isn't an all-star. So I'm probably gonna give the Magic like a C+D. They just gave up way too much, I'd say. The next big trade was on June 22nd. It was Kevin Durant when he got traded to the Rockets, and I think this was a really good trade for Houston because they only had to give up Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and 1 first-round pick. They gave up some seconds, but seconds really don't matter that much, especially now. And even 1 first-round pick is the 10th overall pick in this year's draft, so you're probably not going to get that great of a player, and they don't really need any more depth. So I'd say A+ for the Rockets. You just get Kevin Durant. You don't really got to give up too much. But the Suns, man, I really don't know what they're doing. It's a really bad trade for them, I'd say, because you didn't get any Şengün, you didn't get Amen Thompson, you didn't really get any young up and coming players that have really gonna develop. Jalen Green's very iffy kind of player. He's a really good player, but he's only great, I'd say, in like he's like only like 2 months out of the season. The rest he's kind of inefficient, and he's not I don't think he's a great defender or anything like that. Not a great passer, playmaker. He kind of just a little bit of like a ball hog, kind of a little bit selfish, I'd say, with the ball, and he's just very inefficient. Dylan Brooks is a really good player, but I don't know if they're going to keep him. They do got a couple, solid wings over there, so we'll see. Even if they reroute him to another team that's only like 1 first-round pick, it seems like the reports are saying that they're going to keep Jalen Green, so I guess we'll see, but I feel like they got to get rid of Bradley Beal or something, and at a certain point, Devin Booker is probably going to want to ask out, so I just think it's a really bad trade for the Suns. Probably got to give them an F, honestly. Maybe a D, but it's really not great for them. Then recently today, this one came by surprise. I knew Jrue Holiday was going to get traded, but I just didn't think that it was going to be for Anthony Simons, who I personally like. Anthony Simons, I like him a lot. I feel like if he was on like a team like the Knicks or like a contender, he could be off the bench. That would be great. Microwave scorer, not a great defender, but if you surround him by a lot of size and stuff like that, I think he could really excel. So I think he's going to be a great addition to the Celtics. I mean, Tatum's going to be out, and they traded Porzingis recently, which I'll talk about later. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really see. I feel like the Trailblazers could have definitely got more than just Jrue Holiday. Although I think he's a little bit of a better player now. I think Simons has a better ceiling, and Jrue Holiday's gonna age. You know, he's aging. He's not gonna get any better. He's only gonna get worse. And they gave up two second round picks with that. So I'd say maybe they should have got a first round pick, not giving up a second, just Simons for Drew. But I see what the Celtics are doing. They're trying to get under the second apron, which is very smart. You know, nobody wants to be in the second apron. I mean, I know the Knicks are personally like hard capped, like pretty much, so they can only sign like minimums and maybe the mid-level tax exception or whatever, which is like very small. So yeah, the Celtics don't want to be hard capped, and they're not going to really compete this year, it seems like. So yeah, I think it was a good trade for the Celtics, probably like a B plus, because it doesn't really move the needle that much, but it's a really good move to get younger, get off the Drew Holiday's contract. And the Blazers, I'd probably give them like a C minus. It's not a great trade, but it will give them some veteran experience and help them be a better team this year. And then I almost forgot about this one. The Wizards traded Jordan Poole for CJ McCollum. They traded Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and a second for McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and future second round pick. I think they just want to get more experience. They didn't really like Jordan Poole. He was kind of ball hog, and they don't need that. They don't need like that much of a guy there that's just gonna have the ball so much, take a bunch of like kind of a shot chucker. So they got a way more efficient guy in CJ McCollum. He's very old. He's a lot older, a lot more experience. He's gonna, help out the guys, but he's a really underrated player. Kelly Olynyk could be a really good bench, forward or center to back up Sar or any of their guys. So he could be a forward or a center for them. He's a good versatile piece. He's like a stretch 4, stretch 5, so he's a solid player. I think it's a good deal for both sides because Sadiq Bey is kind of a disappointment. Jordan Poole, you don't really need someone shot chucking like that, and so I'd say it's a solid trade for the Wizards. I kind of saw this coming. I definitely heard a lot of other people talking about it too. I definitely was a proponent of trading CJ McCollum to an up-and-coming team that's very young. He could help instill some good things in them, teach some skills, kind of mentor the young guys like Coulibaly, Carrington, those kind of guys. He could definitely help them a lot. And Olynyk could definitely help, the other young guys too. I think it's good to just get some veterans in the building. They needed more veteran presence, and they basically just swapped second-round picks. So it's essentially just Jordan Poole for CJ McCollum and then Sadiq Bey for Olynyk. So I'd say on paper, I don't know if they get better or worse, maybe a little bit better, because I'd say Olynyk's probably better than Bey. I don't know. I think McCollum and Jordan Poole are close, but I'd say McCollum's going to take better shots, be more efficient, so maybe they got better. I think it's definitely going to help their team, and they're going to need a lot of progress. I'd say it's a pretty even trade. I mean, the Pelicans want a point guard really bad, especially since DeJounte Murray's going to be out for most of the season next year, I think, or at least some of the season. So they have a good point guard, and they could run. They need an actual real point guard. They have a lot of shooting guards over there. So yeah, he's going to be really good there. He can help them out with Zion and Misi, and they're kind of building a little bit of something. I definitely think that they just need a good healthy season. I really like Trey Murphy. I wanted him to be on the Knicks actually. I wanted them to trade for him, but he signed a contract that's too big now. They're not going to do that. And then the last trade, which just broke recently actually, as I'm recording this, it broke a little bit before, but it's the Celtics right now are getting Georges Niang in a second. It's a 3-teamer between the Celtics, the Hawks, and the Nets. The Hawks are acquiring Kristaps Porzingis in a second. The Nets are getting Terrence Mann in a first, which is number 22 pick. So Nets are getting another. I think they might have like 5 first-round picks now. I guess they're trying to retool, completely revamp, rebuild that whole thing. They got their picks back and everything. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the Nets are doing. I don't think Terrence Mann is going to really move the needle, obviously. Not going to make you a better team, but solid veteran guy overall. He's just going to be a solid player for that team. He's just going to help stabilize that team. That's what they really need. Hawks is very interesting to get Kristaps Porzingis. I don't know if they'll be competing. I don't know what's his name. I don't know how bad the forward on their team that got hurt. I think his name Johnson. Yeah, something Johnson. I don't know how bad his injury is, so if he's not playing, I don't think that I don't think they'll be a contender or anything, but it just depends. Jalen Johnson, because he got like 19 points a game last year, like 10 rebounds, 5 assists. So he had a great season. But I think if they're fully healthy, they got Johnson, Porzingis, Trey Young, and what's his name, Dyson Daniels. I think they could have a really good, really interesting team, really good defense. Seems like everyone can kind of shoot on that team, so it'll be very interesting to see how good that team is. Probably end up being like a, I don't know, 8 to 6 seed. Maybe since the East is pretty wide open with all the injuries, maybe they could get a 5 seed. But I don't see them being a real contender. I think the Knicks are going to easily win the East this year. Probably win like 60 games, I'd say, because I think they won like 53, 52, something like that last year. So I think the Knicks will definitely be the top team. But again, another move for the Celtics to get under the apron, the second apron, because they don't want to have to deal with that, pay that, or have their first round picks get frozen or anything like that. So yeah, that's basically what they did, what the move is. Nets just kind of continue to get some veteran, stack their picks. Looks like the Hawks are making a little bit of a push since the East is kind of wide open with all the injuries. And yeah, the Celtics get under the second apron. So that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I'm gonna ask you guys to like, comment, share, subscribe. Like up the video, do everything that you can for the video. Tell your friends about it. Just trying to grow the channel. Still starting out. It's gonna be probably my second video, I think, out. I'm not sure when it's gonna drop, but yeah. So yeah, just support it. Show me lots of love for the channel. This is my first video on sports, and let me know what y'all think. If you like the takes, just comment about what your favorite team is. Comment, who you think won these trades. If my grades are pretty valid, and yeah, just comment what you guys think. All right, peace.